Hello, good morning, and welcome to another Kyle Connor YouTube channel video and another Kyle Connor YouTube channel road trip. We are going all the way from here in Thornton, Colorado, the Denver area, in our Polestar 1 to North Carolina, more than halfway across the country. Now, this car is not its first cross-country road trip. We have road tripped this car as our lead vehicle for the Lucid Cannonball run from New York to LA nonstop. It then was driven back here to Colorado, and I've taken it to California for Monterey Car Week. I use my Polestar 1. It's a great GT car, and that's what I'm going to be doing with it in this episode with you guys, is going on a road trip. And I wanted to come down here to Thornton to check out the new Mercedes Alpitronic hyperchargers that have just been installed. I think this is a great location for us to use for out-of-spec testing, for example, 10% challenges and charging tests, because these are 400 kilowatt chargers with dedicated power, the two stalls there on the end. And so while I came down here to check it out, I actually plugged in my Polestar 1 to a DC charger. And that is because this car is one of the very few hybrids that supports DC fast charging. Now, if the station was full and people were waiting, of course, I would never take the slot of a battery electric vehicle who needs to charge. But in this case, we're leaving on the road trip full of fuel and full of battery, so we can get a really nice first leg on. And then we are basically driving on a 25 hour trip, probably over the weekend. It's Saturday morning now. Hopefully we can get there by Sunday night. To North Carolina. Should be a really fun one. A lot of miles ahead in the Polestar 1. So here it is. This is my 2021, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a 2021 Polestar 1. It's been seen on the channel a few times. I've made quite a few videos with Polestar 1s over the years. I think out of anyone who makes YouTube videos, I've probably made the most amount of Polestar 1 content, and I'm lucky enough to be an owner of this particular one. This car kind of has a cool history because I asked to borrow it from Polestar only a few years ago. And that was when I was shooting the Lucid Cannonball series. I wanted to basically break the electric cannonball record from New York to LA. And thankfully, we've now done that multiple times, actually. And with the Lucid run, one of our biggest challenges was a lot of these charging stations were getting full of electric cars, and a lot of them actually weren't working. And I was like, man, how cool would it be if someone could be staged up at chargers ahead of us and reserve the space and make sure the charger works before we get there in the Lucid. And I was like, what we really need is a car that doesn't need to charge, but that can support DC fast charging. And that would be this. This at the time was the only plug-in hybrid that supported DC charging. Actually, that's not true. It was this and the Karma Revero. Those were the two vehicles, and that would have broken down before we got out of New York City. And this has worked perfectly, given me very little issue. One major fault when the 12-volt died, but other than that, it's really given me very little issue over my time of ownership with this car. And I've put about 15 or 16,000 miles on this car already. I got it with 4 from Polestar. So Polestar loaned it to me for about 6 months, and then I was like, guys, I don't want to give this thing back to you. I want to buy it. And they're like, dude, no, this is our museum car. This is the heritage car. You can't buy it. Like, this is our car to keep. And I'm like, well, nope, I'm not giving it back. So tell me what number you need. We fell in love with it. We're keeping it. And it was actually another cool story. Not only was it the heritage car, this was the CEO of Polestar North America, Gregor's car. And I just think it's such a cool story history with this particular one. I thought we had to have it. I love that it's a driver. This is not a museum piece or anything whatsoever. It's still basically a Volvo XC90 under the hood. So there isn't anything super special about it other than the carbon body, the 3 motors and 3 electric motors, turbocharged and supercharged 4-cylinder. All of that's really cool and a neat package. But it's not like, you know, it doesn't drive like a supercar. It drives like a XC90, honestly. They don't drive that amazingly unless you're really ripping on them, which then they do some cool stuff. So we are charged up to 100%. This has roughly a 34 kilowatt hour battery pack gross. I charged it from about 10% to 100% on a level 2 station at my hotel just over here. And that put in about 31 kilowatt hours. And so I'm guessing it's probably around 31 kilowatt hours usable capacity, 0 to 100, because again, there's always losses when level 2 charging. So everything's good. We're charged up. Yep, 100% completed charge. And we are going from here in the Denver area to Colorado. Let me show you inside the car. You can see it's got a beautiful interior. This is a very impromptu trip. I had this car sitting in the hub, and I was like, this would be so cool to bring to the track in North Carolina and have it there instead of here in Colorado. And I thought, let's bring it out. So we'll turn it on. She fires into life. We're in hybrid mode, and we've got a long trip ahead. So let me cue up the navigation, get all the systems set, and then we'll be able to hit the road. And it's also due for maintenance, although it's not. I just need to reset the light. So there's a couple things we need to do in the Polestar before we get moving. The first is we need to pick the route that we want to go. And I definitely think we're not going to do either of these. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take 70, maybe to 40, and like pick up this yellow route and bridge the gap, because we could go through West Virginia. I've just done that so many times, the West Virginia route. Oh, you know what? Maybe this isn't the West Virginia route. Either way, it's, that is the West Virginia route. I was thinking it'd be cool to come down through Tennessee and up over, but regardless, we're just going to sit on I-70 for a while, like the beginning of every out-of-spec trip heading to the East Coast. So we're going to do the Kansas slog. We'll probably stay somewhere halfway in this area tonight and then finish it up. It's just before 9 a.m. Mountain time, which means it's almost 11 a.m. East Coast time, which is where we're heading. We've got 19,409 miles on the Polestar 1, and I'm going to reset our trip computer by, how do I even do that in this car? Maybe I've got to hit the reset button. That would probably do it. So let's push and hold on the reset. There we go. Trip computer reset, and then I can hit this button and pull up all of our details. Nice. Odometer, range, everything. So we're full charged on the battery. It shows 72 miles of range. This was and still is one of the longest range hybrids ever. If I put it in battery electric pure, you can see we get 78 miles. That's because when you run in pure, they actually let you discharge the battery even lower, so you get more of a bottom buffer to eat into, but of course you've got to plug it in when you're done, so that way you don't bottom brick it. 500 miles predicted on the fuel tank range. We'll see how that changes. We have so many different drive modes here, and what I'm probably going to do is run, the thing is, we're probably just going to run all-wheel drive today. So the reason I use all-wheel drive mode so much instead of hybrid, and you can see we're going through the cold start cycle on the combustion engine right now, is when you run hybrid, the engine is on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off, and it drives me insane because there's a little bit of NVH, and I just feel bad for the engine constantly turning on and off a million times. Also, it means that our cold start would be on the highway under load, which I know it can handle, but this is a car I want to keep for a really long time. So I always tend to do a pretty gentle cold start while stationary, or at least moving slowly, because it'll keep the engine decoupled, and then, sort of light on the throttle. The other thing is all-wheel drive will keep, if I remember correctly, 25% state of charge in the high voltage battery, because on the rear axle back there is only powered by electric motors. So the whole idea with the all-wheel drive system, let me show you this, is it's using the rear motors and the front combustion engine all the time in unison. So when I typically start road trips in this mode, we get really good fuel economy as it lets the battery drain to about 25%. So we're using all the electricity to help with our fuel consumption. Then when we hit 25% on the battery, it actually primarily just turns into front wheel drive, which is how it would be in hybrid mode anyway, but it means the engine isn't turning on and off a million times. This car's so complicated. I've done many videos on the drive modes and everything. We have no fancy GoPros. It's just going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge of clips as we make our way across. If there's any cool information or stats, I'm going to share it with you. Don't expect a polished road trip, just a dude in his Polestar 1 driving it 1,680 miles to Raleigh, North Carolina. And very much looking forward to this. If you haven't known, I've moved to Raleigh, so we still obviously have our Colorado stuff. Our office is here, the hub's here, but we're spending more time in Raleigh because the track is in North Carolina, and I wanted to film a lot more performance car driving stuff. So for everyone asking why I moved to North Carolina, genuinely it's just because the track is there, and I hated the winter here, and it was cold and we couldn't test, and I'm like, we need a warm weather spot. So that's really it. Nothing extreme. Just wanted to spend more time in North Carolina. Missed it. It's where I used to live. Well, it's time to say goodbye to the Mercedes charging network. Thanks for the electrons. That worked great for this car. We did have some bugs on our Rivian charging up here, but not sure what's up with that. Regardless, they topped me up to 100%. By they, I mean I paid for the electricity. I topped up to 100% on the Alpitronic Hyper 400, and now we're pulling away on fumes or on combustion powertrain, which is so funny, this plug-in hybrid setup. But I do think it's smart to use the all-wheel drive mode. The engine just can stay on, stay in load, keep a constant temperature. It doesn't get all these temperature fluctuations so much, which is great for longevity. Of course, it just stays in boost the whole way across the country. And yeah, then we'll use that initial battery just to help get great fuel economy. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the fuel economy before we hit 25% and after we hit 25%, which is the hold state on the main battery pack. With all that said, time to hit the road. We're going to jump on I-25 real quick, take the ring road over to I-70, and then it's just the most boring drive of the planet, but in a fun car with a great sound system. And I love doing miles in the Polestar 1. This is an amazing Grand Touring car. It's comfortable. It's under the radar. No one ever looks at it. It just looks like a Volvo. So cool. So let's go. We are merging onto the highway for the first time of this trip and many more miles ahead. So there we go. I thought we were going to take the 470 ring road. Sounds like we're taking 25 to 70 and then just sitting on 70 the whole way. Time to crank up the tunes. We've got full tank of gas, full tank of electrons, and I am looking forward to spending some time in the Polestar. Haven't driven this car in a few months, so this will be a great way to get reacquainted with it. Well, we're out here doing the I-70 thing, just sitting here cruising along nice and gently. Pilot assist working well, keeping us lane centered. Bowers and Wilkins sounding great. We're in about 50 miles or so on our trip, and things are awesome. We're getting 32 miles to the gallon so far, and the car is comfortable and a really nice road tripper. So we'll see how well that holds up. It is still low to the ground and can be firm, but overall I've got the suspension back down to the soft, and it's really not bad. So we'll see how well it goes, and I still love this thing after a while, but this will be the longest trip I've done with this car in the last maybe 2 years of ownership. Last time was Monterey Car Week 2 years ago. I took it, and yeah, glad to be doing another road trip here 2 years later with it. Decided to stop off here in Lyman, Colorado, just to get a little snack. Wanted to get some coffee and some food kind of to start off the trip. Noticing this brand new EVgo Pilot Flying J location. Wonderful. We're not going to charge up here. We don't need to. We've been using combustion and we're barely down on the battery, so no need to top charge, but cool to have this here. This would be great for when towing, so very excited about this new location. There's also a huge Iona coming to the area, and I don't know if it's that construction over there or where it is. I also wanted to come see the new Iona rechargery coming to Lyman, Colorado, but not finding it anywhere. Anyway, I'm going to run in, get some snacks, maybe get a little food, and then we'll be set up to do this road trip properly. We are about 100 miles into the trip so far, so just chipped away a little few percent of the trip just to get over here. We'll get some food, get settled in, and then get ready for the long haul up ahead. Well, I just ran into Pilot Flying J, got some waters, some pretzels, just an emergency bag of Doritos, but I'm gonna try not to eat it. Trying to eat healthier, so we're gonna skip out on those if we can. And I think there was really not many options here in Lyman. I'll hit the road. If I see some good food, maybe at one of those 24/7 travel stops in Kansas, those are the best. Maybe I'll hit up Qdoba or something in a bit. But anyway, these pretzels and some water will hold me over. Let's crank up the tunes, hit the road. Time to get some miles under our belt. Pulling off here because I saw a sign for Starbucks and I could go for some coffee. I was supposed to, or I wanted to get some at the last stop. We're another 140 miles into the trip, something like that. And I think my body's just programmed for, let's see, the Oasis. Oh, I've been here a bunch. My body's like programmed for EV road tripping, like 100 to 150 miles between stops and take a little break. Like I'm so used to that. And I get in my F350 or this thing and I'm like, dang, I don't even need to stop. So what we'll probably do is, yeah, I don't even know. Should I top up on fuel? Looks pretty busy. Probably not. Probably just get some coffee and hit the road. If there was a charger here, that's the nice thing though. Oh, old titanium Model X. That is rare. Totally rare. Interesting. AP1. I guess that would be maybe no titanium X's with AP2. Anyway, Starbucks is here. The gas pumps are full. This is crazy. Let me get some coffee. We got the Starbucks by one of my favorite supercharging stations. This one's only a version 2 supercharger though, so nothing super fast speeds. But yeah, we've got the Starbucks. Let's go do it. Run in, get some coffee, and then we'll get back on the road in the Polestar. All right, got coffee, back on the road, heading through Kansas. Cruising through Kansas, and it's toasty out there, over 100 degrees. And this is about the view. Not much to see. You guys have seen this on any road trip ever on Out of Spec. It's just straight and flat, and it kind of goes on forever. Not much to look at, but charming, and I do like it. I love driving through Kansas, and it just takes a while. Stopping for fuel here in Kansas. It's 108 degrees, just dropped to 107 under the canopy shade. Holy smokes. You can see we've run out of our 75% battery buffer. We're now down to where all-wheel drive mode holds us. And we were doing exactly 33 mpg solid. And as soon as we got to our 25% point, yep, boom, right there, we got to 32.6. So it is going down. We're at a quarter tank, but I also have to pee. So I thought it'd be a good good point to stop, fuel up with some premium fuel, and get going. I'm just letting the engine cool down for as long as possible before I shut it off, because holy smokes, it's hot as nuts out there. Let's hit the depressurization button over here, and it also shuts off the car. Okay, I guess that's one way to do it. So that's off, and we've depressurized the tank, which means we can fuel it up. It is so windy and boiling hot out here as we pump up with some 91 octane. That's all we get. Pretty soon this thing will have 93 octane as we get to the East Coast. That'll be great. I've never felt it so hot in Kansas before. The AC in this thing is amazing though. Incredible air conditioning in the Polestar. Just filled it all the way up. Only took 11 gallons from a quarter tank to full. So toasty out there, no question. Regular maintenance, I know it is maintained. I just need to clear the light. Put it in reverse, Terry, and I'm gonna park up so I'm not blocking the pump, so I can run and use the restroom. And I wonder if there's a way I can keep climate running in this vehicle. Again, because we have such a big battery, we should have a way where we can keep AC going, I would hope. So I'm gonna park it right up over here in a safe place away from everyone. I love these 24/7 travel plazas, they're great. So we'll park it right here. Boop, got it. Into park. Is there a climate control, parking climate? Keep climate comfort. Okay, preconditioning, set. So I think I can turn that off. Hit preconditioning maybe? It might do it at not at such low battery state of charge. It might need more battery. I don't want heated seats. And the app for the Polestar 1 is down at the moment. Otherwise I can precondition it from the app. Oh, it is blowing cold air. And it says off, but we are getting cold air. So I think we're good. I think that should keep the cabin cool. Oh yeah, there's the AC compressor spinning up. Nice. Well, I'm gonna run in. Hopefully this keeps the cabin cool as it's toasty. All right, let's see if the climate conditioning actually did its job. I was only in for like a minute. Just ran in, peed, coming back out. Let's see if it's still running. The answer is no. Kind of, not really. 109. Woohoo! Toasty! Start this thing up. All right, we'll put it in all-wheel drive mode. She's running, and we are off. Back on I-70 to go through Kansas. There we go, a little snack time. I've been living off that pretzels, and I've already broken into the emergency Dorito bag. But I definitely think I need a quick warm meal. We are 560 miles into our trip. The Polestar has not skipped a beat, even in this extreme heat. It's been wonderful. Just had some podcasts on. It's been really a nice drive. Pilot assist, the lane centering function, which objectively is a pretty bad lane centering function, has been working wonderfully. Now, since we're stopping here at this particular rest stop, I'm pretty sure there is an EV charger around. And as long as I'm not going to block a electric car from charging, maybe I should just plug this thing in. I don't need fuel, but yeah, it shouldn't shouldn't hurt anything to DC charge it a little bit since we're pulling in here. If someone's using it or if there's just one available, well, maybe I won't. But I think it'd be kind of fun occasionally, you know, run in, grab a little warm meal here at McDonald's and top up the battery. I've been holding it in all-wheel drive mode right there at that 25%. So let's go see how this plays out as we find the chargers. Oh, they're just Tesla superchargers over here. Nice. I've been to this location before. And there's a couple charge point stations as well. 2 DC and 1 AC charger. Well, I don't know. I say, are we going to be that guy? Yeah. Let's plug it into the DC charger. May as well. Let's see what happens. It's hot out here. I'm curious how the thermal management systems will handle it as well. And I'm going in just for like 5 minutes. So if I see another electric car roll up, of course I will move this thing right away. You don't want to be the guy in a hybrid blocking an EV from charging. So anyway, this thing should charge at 50 kilowatts. I've only DC charged this one a few times, but it has been DC charged, just like the beginning of this video. Like I said, I'll let the engine get as much cool down time as possible because it's just been running in over 100-degree heat. Get it plugged in and that'll be that. Damn, the gas cars are starting to block EV chargers now. So let's see if we can get this thing juicing. It's going through communication at the moment, and we shouldn't be needing to share any power. We're not going to be stealing any power from the Bolt, so I really don't feel too bad about it. We are charging 9 kilowatts, 14, 18, and ramping. Wow, it's ramping pretty quick right there, right up to 27 kilowatts in this case. It should be doing more, but perhaps it's hot? Not sure. Doesn't really matter ultimately, but it is nice to stop and charge up when we're going to get some snacks. May as well put some juice into it. So all is good. Topping up, throw away some trash, and go get a warm meal. Well, guys, just had a nice meal, sit-down meal at McDonald's. Didn't even need to get it to go. No other electric cars came, and the Bolt left. We really didn't get massive charging performance here. That's okay. Most we saw was like 28 kilowatts. Normally the Polestar would do 50 or so, but it did seem to be like an amperage limitation from the charger, which is totally possible. So I think we were here, 30 minutes. I took my time. I actually did a quick call for work. I was all good. Still doing 20 kilowatts at 70% state of charge. So I'm going to wash the windshield here, and then we will get back on the road. We'll see, probably at 75, 80%. Should be perfect. And that's only 16 cents per kilowatt hour. So a pretty cheap way to actually offset our fuel economy. It does seem to be like maybe between 3 and 5 mpg better when we have it in the all-wheel drive setting, when it can use the power from the rear motors all the time. So it definitely is more efficient, to drive with energy in the battery. And since we were just sitting here, that was great. I don't know what the cost is, but still cool to DC charge it, and fun to play around with this stuff. So I'll clean the windshield and then we'll get back on the road. Jumping in now after charging up. We've got 52 miles of electric range. Pretty good. It's like more than most of my electric cars. Charged right up to 75% indicated like we expected. We will kick on the combustion engine into all-wheel drive, and I don't even know where we're going to make it to tonight, but we're at over half a tank of fuel, so no reason to top up now. That'll be another excuse to stop. I kind of like stopping every once in a while. It's kind of nice. I've seen this guy all day. We've been trading positions, but that's okay. We're not going super fast unless there's just a bunch of those going down the highway at the same time, which is totally possible. Let's see. We're just about to hit 20,000 miles. We're 558 miles into the trip. There's a Lotus Elise over there. Supercharger's empty. Life is good. Let's put it into drive and let's go. Hello from about 800 miles into the trip now, doing a fuel top up. We are almost out of the battery pack. It's at like 30% state of charge or so. Just been booking it through Missouri. It's been going well. Popped off, quick top up, back on the road. Only 13 hours left to go. Well under 1,000 miles now. We're in that like mid 900 miles left to go. So I'm still feeling good. Sound system's amazing in this. Just been jamming out. It's such a good road tripper. Pilot assist is awesome. I love this car. This is what it's built to do. I just wish it had a bit bigger fuel tank. The fuel tank range is really terrible, especially if you're ripping on it. But I'm just, again, cruising on the highway, which means we actually are getting pretty damn good range. Such a cool car, such a good road tripper. This always, whenever I take it on a long trip, I go, yeah, that's what this is built for. So highway's right over there. I've actually fueled up here a few times on my trips. So we had like 30 miles left till empty. We're at like less than 1/8 of a tank. Figured I'd pop over, juice it up real quick. Should be done pretty soon. It's only got like a 14, 15 gallon tank, something like that. And then back on the road we go, crank up the tunes and see how far we can push it tonight. Well, viewers, we have made it to exactly our halfway point. We're about 900 miles into the trip, about 875 or so. So maybe just a few miles short of halfway. Actually, in just one of the recent road trips on the motoring channel, we stayed at a hotel right next door and they have level 2 charging, but that hotel was sold out. Normally I would just go park in their parking lot and plug this thing in. However, it's interesting, those level 2 EVSEs are activated by your room key, and so I don't have a room key for that particular one. Anyway, I think we've got a pretty nice safe spot tucked up against the curb right by the back entrance to the hotel. No level 2 charging at this hotel, but with a plug-in hybrid, not needed. Would have been nice. Certainly look to try to find one, but there's really a lack of hotels with charging in this area. We are just east of St. Louis. We're in Illinois, I guess. So with all that said, I'm going to go up to the 3rd floor, go to sleep. See y'all in the morning. And a good morning to you guys. It is warm and humid out here. I think it's like almost 8 a.m. just before, and everything's looking good. Car wasn't broken into. That's always step number 1. Make sure a car isn't broken into. Yeah, Polestar 1 shows all of its high voltage connections in the trunk, which is so cool. So let me throw my sweatshirt in here real quick. Boom. Throw my bag in the trunk. We're gonna grab some Starbucks and finish off the second leg of this trip, as we're on the other side of St. Louis, on the east side of St. Louis. We're in Illinois. So, are we in Illinois? Yes, Illinois. Yep. Cool. Get on the road. Start button, start knob, switch. Don't need heated seats. We do need climate control. Climate control, like I can set it up to like 78, even to 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and it still blows ice cold when it's hot out, which is really funny. Let's get the engine through cold start, switch it to all-wheel drive, let it do its cold start before we get moving. If you're gentle on it, it will actually do the cold start while you're driving. Once the engine goes through cold start, then it'll hook it up to the drive wheels. Let me show you guys where we are. If this system wants to boot, it is a pretty laggy HMI system. Oh my goodness. And this is where we are. So we left Colorado. We're about halfway to North Carolina. This is the new home out this way. So yeah, there's a couple different ways we can go. What I would like to do is to go down to 40 and take 40 through Asheville and then over to Raleigh. However, it's about 30 minutes longer than if we actually do the West Virginia thing and come down to Greensboro. So yeah, I think we'll just do the quickest way so we can get there. We're going to be there in about 12-hour drive or so. So I'm hoping we can make it with fuel stops and everything by 10 p.m. Eastern, but even worst case, if it's 10:30 or 11, no problem. Pretty easy 2-day drive to get out there. So Starbucks first. There's one right by the highway entrance. We'll get all ready to rock and roll. Batteries down low, but that's okay. You can do that with a plug-in hybrid. We don't need to charge. That is kind of nice, actually. Ready to put some miles down today for sure. Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. We are been on the road for a while and we're low on fuel, low on battery, but that's all good. We're in Louisville, or Lovell, or Louisville, however you want to say it. I normally say Louisville. Love it here. Great place. Cruising along. Beautiful views, beautiful day for a drive. 90 degrees Fahrenheit out. Infinity doing VQ things over here. Love to see it. All is well with the world. Pulling off here at the Pilot Flying J over on that side to get some fuel. A lot of pilots have EVgo charging stations. They're always extremely expensive, but still I'm going to run in and pee and maybe get some snacks and some food, so I may as well hook the car up to the DC charger while we're there, assuming it's empty and we're not blocking any EV spaces or EVs from charging. So let's head over that way and yeah, see what the situation is. I've definitely been to this Pilot Flying J before. I was just at this Pilot station with my Super Duty recently, parked it along the edge over here, and I don't remember seeing EV charging at this one. There is a Starbucks there, which is great. I already got my Starbucks today, but I don't think this one has charging. I'll look around though, double check. Yeah, I've definitely stopped here before. I think I'm gonna run in, use the restroom, but there's a Subway over there. I could kind of go for a sandwich over Wendy's, to be honest. And there is a line at the fuel pumps. So I'm hoping by the time I come out in like 2 seconds from peeing that the fuel stations will open up. Otherwise, we'll have to look for another gas station in the area because it's full and crazy busy here, without question. A little 15-minute lunch stop over there at the Subway. Pretty good. Honestly, hit the spot. A little break from driving was nice too. Gonna go fill up with fuel, get back on the road. Well, this looks like a disaster still. The reason this is so busy is there's no other fuel for like 20 miles in each direction. We could make it. We got 40 miles remaining. But yeah, this is kind of like the last major fueling center for a little while. So, and there's not nearly enough pumps. This is crazy. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to figure out a way to get a spot in line, or maybe I'll just push it to the next exit. I think we just get the heck out of here. There's people waiting down on that end over there. Yeah, let's exit this situation and just go somewhere else. So this is the weirdest thing. I think that Pilot is busy because it almost appears like there's no fuel for 20 miles in either direction or whatever, because that's what Google says. Google says no fuel. I pulled up Apple Maps and it's like there's a million stations right off the highway. Don't know what was going on with that, but Google Maps may be screwing people into sitting at that Pilot J location. So anyway, we got a perfectly empty, great Shell V-Power site. Let's fuel it up. Then we're ready to rock and roll. This is perfect. What the heck? This is like 5 minutes down the road. I don't understand. That's wild. Maybe the reason no one's here is because it's expensive. $4 per gallon seems, not bad for California prices, but here in Kentucky seems like maybe even $1 per gallon higher than normal. But anyway, you don't have to wait in a line and deal with a bunch of angry people. That seems kind of worth it. 14 gallons later, we're topped up. This thing needs like a fuel tank twice the size, or at least 50% bigger. Now we can get some miles under our belt. Taking a little bit of a shortcut through the mountains. Looked like a really fun road. It says it adds 20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure we can shred. And I bet we're actually going to be even quicker going this way. That's my guess. So anyway, we'll see how that all plays out. Let's get some miles going. This was definitely the correct route choice. Very Pacific Northwest feeling through here in Kentucky, through the hill country. Absolutely beautiful. Never been this way before, and thrilled that I'm able to take the opportunity. It says it was about 20 minutes longer. Oh, rain's coming in. But I bet we are able to shave some time off, and I've already shaved like 10 minutes off the time already. And but we got stuck behind this guy, and now it's raining. All good. We're enjoying it. This is beautiful. This is Hazard, Kentucky, really along the river. Beautiful little area. There was got just some cool stuff around here. Definitely wouldn't mind coming back and checking this place out. Seems like a cool little town. So glad I took this way. Can't believe it's only 20 minutes longer, and according to our pace, it's about the same as the normal highway. This is the way to do it. Super cool. Only 3 hours left in the trip. Just can't see anything with this water. Welcome to North Carolina. Just filled up. We were at 10 miles to empty, so almost all the way out. 15 gallons in the tank, and that was the last fueling stop of the trip. We are now good to head to Raleigh. So let's do it. We're just in the Winston-Salem area I know pretty well. Feels like home. Nice to be back. You can see it says low fuel, 10 miles, but when I turn her on, she'll recalculate, and you'll watch this start to say, oh, dang, we are fueling. Sweet. Anyway, time to roll to home, then we'll look at the final data. We're only about an hour and a half away. And good morning. We have arrived after 23 hours and 49 minutes on the road. We averaged 29 point something MPG, 29.3, 29.7. The mountains, the second mountain range, I was boogieing when we went through Kentucky and into Virginia, and that really consumed a little bit more fuel. But no question, this is a 30 MPG on the highway car with the battery full. When you can use it to help offset that combustion engine, it's really, you know, mid 30s, maybe 34, 35, something like that. Pretty good efficiency. But when you drive this thing hard, it just dumps fuel into the engine, just absolutely devours it. Overall, fantastic road trip. I love this car. This is what it's built to do. It's built to cover big miles, and can't wait until my next big trip with it. Don't know to where, but I'm so glad I have it. It's been a dream to own this car, and it just, you know, this trip just confirmed that. It was really a wonderful mile muncher. So thanks so much for joining me on this pretty crappy video, just fuel stop, fuel stop, fuel stop. But didn't want to make it a super hard edit and didn't bring any cameras with me to record the scenery and stuff. Doesn't really matter. We made it. Road trip in the Polestar 1. More fun videos coming to the channel, unlike this one, very soon.